I wasn't sure I was going to upload this video or make it at all, but I felt that there are some things I would like to get off my chest. Now, you might think it's a bit weird that I, being the proud owner of a tiny niche YouTube channel, has chosen to make videos about a game that is in no way related to what got people interested in my channel in the first place. I was a bit torn about doing it or not. And especially since the game I'm talking about is, of course, The Witcher, and since YouTube is already oversaturated with Witcher content, you might think it a bit weird that I decided to make these videos myself, because there are many YouTubers that do it much better than me, and that already have a huge following. So since I started making the Witcher videos, I have lost subscribers daily, and quite a substantial amount, really. And it's understandable and to be expected, and I just want to clarify why I started making these videos all of a sudden, because that requires a bit of background. Now, The Witcher 3 is developed and published by a Polish company called Projekt Red, and at the moment it has the attention of the entire gaming world. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that. I don't think I've ever seen this much interest around a game of the scale of The Witcher in... I don't know when the last time was. Maybe Fallout 3? Now, with a budget that is around 12.5% of the budget of, for example, Destiny, and an unheard of split of 50% between development and marketing, it's really no surprise that the gaming world has embraced The Witcher with open arms. It's in many ways what gamers have been wanting for years. At least what gamers say they have been wanting. More funding for development, more time for development, and less marketing bullshit. Now, I don't know how the rest of you think or feel about this, but the way I've been feeling after every game released the past years that I've bought and played, they've given me sort of a sour aftertaste. It's like the advertising is intentionally misleading. In the distance you see the silhouette of a mighty dragon, then when it lands in your hand it's an annoying blood-sucking mosquito of DLC and unfinished work. Now, they spend more money making you want and know about a game than making you enjoy it. They spend more money talking about the game than they do actually making the game. Now, companies know this full well, they exploit it, but I'd like to talk a bit about the role YouTubers play in this. Now, in the race to be as early as possible with content about popular games, YouTubers aid to a significant degree in creating interest, and often on the grounds of footage that is pre-alpha, that is bullshots, or just from company presentations. Now, bullshots are, for those of you who don't know, bullshots are screenshots that in no way represent how the graphics look in game. They are often heavily altered screenshots, so mix of screenshot and bullshit. Now, if it gets this gets the game publicity, it racks up the pre-orders, and it gets YouTubers views and cash, and this is very important. Because YouTubers intentionally mislead and create clickbait videos based on bullshots and reactions based on knowing exactly nothing about a certain game. They might know what everyone can read on an official website or on a gaming site or watch on a stream from an event. Now, if people enjoy that type of content, and it seems like many people do, and if people enjoy and profit from making that content, and of course they do that, then it's fine. That's how a free market works. But I am curious as to how much this influences the pre-order madness, the early access, the DLC, companies essentially releasing alpha and beta versions of games with the gamers paying full price for being testers. It may take weeks or months until a game is patched up, and even then it stands as a pale reflection of what it was advertised to be. Now, I love games. I love games that are deep, that offer a world away from this one, where it feels like the world is made with skill, love and care for someone to enjoy, not just as a front or a scam and an exploit for the gullibility of gamers. a sort of a susceptibility to get overexcited by pre-release hype, generated both by companies and by independent YouTubers. Now, there are plenty of YouTubers with integrity and honesty. I'm not saying YouTubers are bad or anything of the sort, not even close. Having a channel whose main focus is generating views based on games you like or think you like, absolutely fine. But there are plenty of channels that only make content based on games they actually have had their hands on and they've actually played, and they will give an honest opinion of them. So I'm not talking about giving opinions on alpha state stuff or beta stuff. That's completely fine. I'm talking about pre that even. Now, as a community, we have sent a very clear message in the only language the big studios seem to understand. That's money. And if they can make more money by spending more on actually making good games and not just telling us how good their games are going to be, that would kind of make sense, I think. And that's why it makes me really happy to see The Witcher 3 do well. There's no DRM, they took their time with development, they funded the development equally with marketing, and they've made a masterpiece that makes people feel something and enjoy themselves for hundreds of hours. And for once, the critics and the users seem to agree. The Witcher is not a perfect game, but it's pretty damn close to being one. Witcher 3 is one of the highest rated games of all times, both from critics and from the people who've actually played the game. And that is in stark contrast to what has happened with games released in the recent years. Now, compared to the empty, hollow feeling other games have left me with lately, I think The Witcher is something worth supporting. Now, I will end this rant by saying that I hope The Witcher 3 is the start of a trend. And I hope that trend ultimately ends with everyone getting better games and game developers getting to have more pride in their work. Now, as long as we support games and developers worth supporting, people don't pre-order based on commercials and the opinions of people who haven't played the game. As long as reviewers don't create essentially fake reviews having played the game for 5 minutes, I think something has to happen. At least I hope it does. Strength and honor.